All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the student panel session of Open House. My name is Amanda. I am currently a junior here at SUNY Plattsburgh in the Childhood Ed program. I am from Long Island, and I'm joined here by my fellow ambassadors. So we'll go around and say your name, your major, where you're from, and if you want, you can add a little fun fact about you. So I'll just go on the order that I see you on my screen. So it'll be Kristen, Marie, Yaday, Chase, and Daniela.
All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Kristen, and I am a junior in the 5-year master's program for childhood and special education with a minor in English language arts. And I am from Long Island, New York. And a fun fact about me is that I went skydiving on my 18th birthday.
Hi, my name's Marie. I'm a senior TV video production major with a minor in sociology, and I'm graduating in December. I'm originally from Connecticut, and a fun fact is that this time last year I was studying abroad in Australia.
Hello, my name is Yaday. I'm a sophomore. My major is art graphic design. My hometown is New York City, Brooklyn. Fun fact about me, I learned how to cook now.
Hi everyone, my name is Chase. I am a junior at SUNY Plattsburgh. My major is biology and I have a minor in chemistry. I'm from near Saratoga Springs, New York. And a fun fact about me is that my favorite fruit is blueberries.
Hi everybody, my name is Daniela. I am a senior. I'm a social work major and a criminal justice minor. My hometown is right outside of Poughkeepsie, New York. And a fun fact about me is that I have been to 4 other countries.
Awesome, thank you guys. So for those of you who are listening in, if you wouldn't mind using the Q&A box and you can start typing in your questions. I'll give you guys a minute to start typing. All right, so while we're waiting, maybe if Marie, would you like to talk about the dorm life here and how that experience has been for you?
Yeah, I'd love to. So I'm actually a community advocate on campus, which is kind of like the Plattsburgh version of a resident assistant. So I've lived in the dorms for all of my college experience, and I personally have really enjoyed it. One of the things that Plattsburgh really focuses on is trying to make a community of the people that you live with. So not just your roommate, but also the people on your floor or in your wing of the building. So we have a lot of cool events happening in the buildings all the time. So that's really fun. As far as like bathrooms go, a lot of our buildings have pod style bathrooms. So you have your own shower, your own sink, your own toilet, you close the door. Nobody's gonna come in and bother you. So that situation is fine. Yeah, honestly, no complaints. I've really enjoyed it.
And how has that role been for you as a CA?
Being a CA is awesome, but it is also sometimes extremely challenging. We do have to deal with a lot of sort of higher intensity situations, but a lot of the time, really all my job is going on rounds and making sure everybody's doing okay, checking in, saying hi, maybe telling people to turn their music down if it's a little late at night and they're being too loud. And it's a really awesome experience because I get to connect with so many people around campus. Chase actually was one of my residents a couple of years ago, so I was his CA, and now we're still really close. So yeah, I love being a CA. I would definitely recommend if anyone's interested, looking into it, giving it a shot, and applying because it's a really great experience.
Awesome, thank you. So we're still waiting to see if anybody has questions. Guys, please feel free to say anything. This is your experience. So please let us know what you want to hear. While we wait, maybe if we all want to go around and talk about our favorite gen ed class, or if it was in your major, your favorite class you took and why. So we'll do the same as our intro. So Kristen, if you want to start.
All right, so my favorite gen ed elective class that I took was actually in my class. It was writing the coming of age novella. It was an honors seminar that I took. So with the honors program, you get to choose a small class that kind of has a small focus, like a topic of something that interests you. And there's usually no more than 15 students, and you'll sit in a round table, and it's very discussion based. The reason I love that class was because I've always wanted to write kind of like a book or a children's story or some sort of publish something in my lifetime. And this class gave me the chance to write a short novel. It ended up being like 103 pages, something crazy like that. And it was just so rewarding to see the final product at the end. And the process was very challenging. It was probably one of the hardest things I've had to do. But it also kind of inspired me to declare English as a minor, because that was the first kind of like writing intensive course that I took, and I ended up getting a minor in English because of and I realized that I love writing so much, and hopefully one day we'll make a book or a children's story or something. So it really kind of was the catalyst for me declaring a minor and finding my love for English. And it was really great experience too, with my first honors seminar being in that small group setting. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to write it in the chat if you have more questions about the honors program, but I won't go into too many specifics since not everyone does qualify for the program.
Awesome.
I was actually, oh, sorry. Okay. So I was actually really fortunate. I took a decent amount of AP classes when I was in high school, and a bunch of them transferred over. So I didn't have that many gen eds to take when I got here, which is actually what is allowing me to graduate a semester early. But one of the gen eds that I did have to take was a natural science gen ed, and I was able to take astronomy for that, which was really cool. I didn't think I was ever going to be sitting in a college lecture about astronomy, and it was really interesting. I took it my first semester freshman year, and I still remember how fascinated I was by the subject, because I mean, I'm a film major. It has nothing to do with what I'm studying, and so it really was cool to take a class that was outside of what my focus was, that was still really interesting to me. And I absolutely loved my professor. She actually also does an astronomy club for students, and they do planetarium shows regularly throughout the semester. And I seriously considered joining that club because I had such a good experience in the class. So that was definitely a really cool class that I was able to take.
Awesome. Your day?
For me, for the gen ed, would be public speaking, because honestly, I don't have the best skills in speaking, but also the teacher makes the activity fun. Our presentations are very educational, and it keeps me in a comfort zone where it's not too much pressure. Because of COVID, the classes are much smaller, so that kind of works in my favor. Someone who has high anxiety and like talking within like a group of people. So having that class will be probably my favorite gen ed, because it also doesn't require math.
For sure. Chase, you're up.
So my favorite gen ed was probably film photography. I took it with this girl named Sherry, and she just made learning very fun. And it was just a class that I will definitely remember forever as being like the best class I took as a freshman.
Cool. And Daniela?
One of my favorite gen eds actually really surprised me was my intro to ceramics class. So I had to fulfill a arts credit. And if any of you guys know anything about me, I am the least artistic person you are ever going to meet. But I had a lot of fun. It was a very hands-on experience and something that definitely piqued my interest in arts, which was something I never thought would happen.
Very cool. Oh, we have a question. All right, so what's the best way to meet people as a freshman? So I'm going to throw this over to Marie. So Marie, how do you have your residents meet each other, or as a freshman, how did you get involved on campus?
I mean, the biggest thing is to, first of all, we have a student digest, goes out every single day, has all kinds of activities, clubs, anything you can join. If you walk around campus, you're going to see everywhere flyers with different clubs. Greek Life will have advertisements up. And I would recommend just trying contacting someone and getting involved. We also every semester have an involvement fair. So it's basically every organization on campus, whether it's club sports or something like the Women in Leadership Club, anything, and you can go and look at what the campus has to offer. And I would definitely recommend, even if it's something that's a little bit outside of your comfort zone, just writing down your contact information, going to a couple of meetings, because that's the best way to really get involved on campus and to just sort of jump in. It's just rip off the Band-Aid and do it, because as a freshman, everybody's in the same situation as you. Nobody knows anyone else, and you really just have to jump in. And if you join an organization that you might be interested in, you're already going to be with people who sort of have the same interests as you. And then another thing that I always recommend would be to just talk to the person sitting next to you in class, introduce yourself, say hi. That's how I made one of my best friends on campus. We're still close friends. She was literally just sitting next to me and I mentioned something about a band I like. She said she liked the same band and now we're best friends. Obviously there were more steps in between, but those are the two biggest things, is to just try to get involved, join at least one club or organization, and just say hi to the people who are sitting next to you in class.
Awesome, thank you. So kind of to piggyback off of that, Uday, do you want to talk about what there is to do on campus, off campus, what you like to do on the weekends?
So that one is a little tricky question for me because I'm usually an indoor person, but usually what I do outside is I'm either hanging out with friends. I go down to I go downtown at Plattsburgh, go check around the city. I go uptown a little bit to Montreal sometimes. Um, for the most cases, I'm usually down the river because I like there's a river nearby. I'm like right near. It's like right there, honestly. So I like sitting there, enjoying seeing the river. I will if I'm gonna play some sports, there's a tennis court nearby. We could rent out bikes. There's some activities that we do here. So like there's clubs or the CAs are making events, but they're all virtual, of course, because of COVID. There's plenty of activities to do even with COVID, so it keeps everybody up and going. So we have like a community building, but for the most cases, I would for the most cases I will usually be storming around exploring Plattsburgh with my friends.
Awesome, thank you. And Chase, while you're on campus, how's the food? Is it good places to eat on campus? Where's your favorite place to go?
So we have a couple places to eat on campus. We have the Sundowner, and then we also have Clinton Dining Hall that are open during the day usually, and then the Sundowner is open during the day and at night. But yeah, there's lots of vegan options. You can get gluten-free options, and there's lots of choices. So you can find something that you like, definitely.
Awesome. So yeah, so that's a great thing, is that there's always those allergy awareness stations. So if you have any allergies or if you're vegan, vegetarian, you always have options and you're not going hungry here for sure. So Daniela, when you came up here, how was the weather for you? Was it super cold? I know Uday has mentioned that he loves the cold up here, but how was it for you coming up here?
I too like the cold. So when I told my family I was going up north, they were like, "What? You're going to the snow?" But I didn't find it to be that bad. Just make sure that you have a good jacket and good boots, and you'll be fine. We also have heated bridges that go between most of our academic buildings, so getting between classes when the weather's bad isn't a worry either.
Awesome, thank you. So sometimes students express that safety is an issue. So Kristen, do you want to talk about the safety that's around on campus? What resources are available?
Absolutely. So we have something called University Police. So there is actually a building designated just for them, and they are actual police officers. They are not security guards. They are full police officers. And we also have the Plattsburgh City Police as well. So Plattsburgh City Police is not as doesn't have as big of a tie with the campus. University Police will be riding around in their cars 24/7. You're usually seeing them walking around campus. They'll come to a lot of events just to say hi, check out what's going on. And if you ever feel unsafe on campus, there's a phone number that you can call. It's 516-518-564-2022. And it's encouraged to put that in every student's phone. It's kind of easy to remember because 564, every number on campus starts with that. And you just have to remember the last four digits. You can just dial them. They will come pick you up from wherever you are. If you are off campus somewhere and you don't feel like you're safe walking back because it's too late in the night, they will come get you totally for free. And if you are also interested in criminal justice, they have an internship program where you can volunteer to work with their office as a student. I don't remember what they're called, but they're usually always out and about wearing their jackets. This way, if a student doesn't feel comfortable asking maybe one of the officers, they can go up to that specific student. And we also have the blue light system on campus. So if you are taking one of our virtual tours later, or you have taken one already, maybe you've seen it, they're just tall red towers that have a little blue light on them that at night that you'll see, and then you can push the button, and in under a minute, University Police will come to wherever that tower ping that the button push came from, and they will come see what's going on and try and help you. And I'm looking at my windows right here. I'm looking out the window. They are always able to be seen from one place to another. So if you're at a blue light, you can always see another blue light within range throughout campus. So they are very close together in proximity to every building. So where you are, it is not a far walk to push that button. I have always felt safe on campus as a woman. I've never had any problems, and I've been walking out and about when it's dark. Always felt safe. Everyone is very welcoming here on campus, and I've never had any problems. If you do ever feel unsafe, we have the Title IX office in the Angel College Center. So if you need to report sexual harassment, sexual assault, anything, you will go to our Title IX coordinator. Her name is Butterfly. That's her actual name. And she will handle anything and everything related to that and get some action taken for you as quick as possible.
Perfect. Thank you. Marie, you had mentioned that you did study abroad. Would you like to talk about that experience?
I would love to talk about study abroad because it was my favorite thing ever. So when I decided to go to Plattsburgh, there were two things that I knew I wanted to do. I wanted to graduate early and I wanted to study abroad. And doing that required a lot of planning. I actually went to Australia through a different SUNY school that wasn't SUNY Plattsburgh, which is something that I think is absolutely incredible that I was able to do, because SUNY as an institution has an entire database of basically all of the study abroad programs that are offered through every single SUNY school. And so you're not limited to the programs that Plattsburgh specifically offers. You can go literally anywhere in the world through a different SUNY school if you don't find what you're looking for through Plattsburgh. So it was a lot of planning, but if you are interested in studying abroad, you'll get a study abroad advisor. And so I worked very closely with her to make sure everything was all set. She walked me through the whole process of figuring out the classes I was able to take and how to get my visa and when it was safe for me to get my plane ticket, because she knew that nothing was going to be changing and I was definitely going to be going. And it was honestly the best experience of my life. I was in a city about 2 hours outside of Sydney just for like 5 months. It was beautiful weather. I went by myself, so I didn't go with a group of other Americans. I had to really immerse myself and meet people. And I still have friends from study abroad that I talk to very regularly from Sweden and Germany and Australia, of course. So it was definitely a life-changing experience. I would recommend looking into it, starting as a freshman, because you want to make sure that the classes that you need to take on campus are taken care of before you go study abroad, because there can be some problems there. But yes, it was amazing. I recommend that everybody studies abroad.
Awesome. Yeah, I would just like to piggyback off that. I was trying to do study abroad. COVID said no. So I was supposed to go in May and I did a faculty-led program. So in that case, I took the class while I was here in the spring semester, and then we would have done our traveling for the last 2 weeks. Well, after the semester, 2 weeks after the semester had ended, and we would have gone to Germany, Warsaw, and Prague. It was a reading the Holocaust class, so it was going to be studying all those different places. So if that's ever an option for you guys, I really liked the idea of the faculty led, especially for my program. It's very rigid and I have to take my certain classes at a certain semester. I cannot jump around. That goes the same for nursing. So a lot of students do like to use either the summer or the winter sessions or find the study abroad opportunities like the faculty led program. So you always have different options. There is also a domestic exchange program. So if you're a little uneasy going completely abroad, you can stay within the US and you can do study abroad that way. So if you wanted to go to Hawaii and study for a year, or if you know you want to go to grad school in Georgia, go ahead and find that school first and spend a semester there to see if you'll like it. So another question that just came up, what clubs does Plattsburgh have to offer? So I'm going to throw this over to Daniela. So what clubs are you in? What have you joined? And what is it like to be in a club?
Okay, so I've actually joined quite a few of them. I am part of the Social Work Student Association. I'm actually an e-board member. I am part of the Criminal Justice Club, which is really cool. We go on trips. That's how I know most of the university police officers, which is kind of cool. And I also am part of Red Zone, which is kind of our version of like the student section, but we paint our faces red and we go and we're basically the cheerleaders. We're at every hockey game, every soccer game. We even travel. So I've been to Oswego, I've been to Potsdam with them. So it's definitely an amazing experience. It's also a great way to get to know people who have similar interests and are like-minded, make friends that way too.
Awesome. Chase, do you have any other clubs that you would like to talk about?
Yes, so actually I am the vice president of Botany Club. So on campus we have our own campus greenhouse. So if you're interested in plants, please feel free to reach out. But I know that we have like other clubs, like there's a zombie one where you'll just see people like running around and I'm like, what are they doing? But that's all right. And then I don't know, we have other clubs like specific to majors too, like Daniela was talking about for like criminal justice. And then I know that we have like a biology club too.
Yep, so if you're interested, we have a whole list on the Plattsburgh website where you can look at every single thing that we have on there. And argument's sake, if you see something that's not on there, you can absolutely make your own club. You can do it through our student association, which is like our student government, and you can make your own club as long as you have at least 4 members and somebody who's a faculty member to help you run everything. So you can always have that option available to you as well. Uday, how is the transportation around here? Do you have a car on campus? How do you get around? If you don't, what do you do to go home for the breaks?
Okay, so I do not have a car sadly, but I am working to get one. So let's say for someone like me that doesn't have a car that needs to go to Walmart, Target, I had to go to Family Dollar. There's an SA shuttle bus we have here, so it comes every 30 minutes. We get on. It takes 14 people to it's a 30-minute round trip. So it does that every 30 minutes. It takes you to Walmart. It takes you to Target. It takes you to Market 37, Family Dollar. It takes you all of there, and it goes the entire section around every 30 minutes. For let's say you also mentioned like to return home. Sometimes not even sometimes, like during breaks, or like November break or the big breaks we have here, like the seasonal ones, Plattsburgh offer buses. So for students like me who can't get home sometimes, they will offer, instead of taking a Greyhound, they'll offer coach buses where city kids or people from Albany, they will give you these buses for free, or you have to pay depending on which one is it, and it will take you straight home.
Awesome, thank you. So this came up before, so I would like to bring this up again. Can you have pets in the dorms? So Daniela, do you want to talk about that?
I absolutely would love to talk about that. So I actually do have a kitten in my room. So if you see her running behind me, that's what that is. But it was a really easy process. You just have to get them registered through the school. And it's really not that hard to do.
Right, awesome. So I'm going to throw a question out to all of you. Who was your favorite professor here, and what made them your favorite professor? So I see Kristen's wheels are turning, so why don't we skip Kristen for a second, or are you good?
I'm so ready. I love this question so much. Okay, so my favorite professor, her name is Dr. Benatti. She was actually, I've had her for 4 classes now. So as every major on campus, you will get an academic advisor from your major. So it's not some person from biology that's trying to help me figure out my education classes. And in my program specifically, and I know a few others do this as well, she was actually my first professor. So for my very first education class, fall of freshman year, I had her as my teacher. So I was able to connect with her as my advisor as well as my professor. So I dealt with her a lot, and we did form a really great relationship. And then I went on to have her for 3 more classes, and I'm going to have her again for some of my higher level classes when I get to grad school. And from my relationship with her, she is also the advisor for one of the clubs that I am an executive board member for. And I also have joined the student research group under the teacher education program that she serves as one of the advisors and mentors for. So she knew that I was really interested in research because we had talked about that during some of our advising meetings. And then she is now my mentor for the independent research project that I'm doing. So from just the one meeting I had with her as my advisor and then it being in her class, I have had such a great relationship with her and I talk to her all the time. And I know that I can go to her with anything. And she was also just an amazing teacher to have for all of my classes. So definitely connect with your professors, go to their office hours. She always has a sign on her door that's like, come grab a coffee with me. Like it's free. It's called Cardinal Coffee Connection. And if you go grab a coffee from any place with a professor, you'll get it for free. So she always encourages people to do that and just talk to them. They're just people, they want to get to know you. They're there to help you. And if you advocate for yourself and reach out for help, they're going to be there and you're going to develop such a great relationship with them and you're going to treasure that relationship forever. And it'll be great to have a recommendation for when you need to get a job too. But it's they're with you the whole way. They'll be your advisor for 4 years and they're always going to be your professor to help you with anything and everything you need to know about your major. And that's my rant. Sorry. I just love her.
Marie?
Yeah, I have a few professors that I absolutely love, but I guess for now I'll just talk about one. So one of my favorite professors ever is Dr. Lauren Eastwood. She teaches in the sociology department. I had her for one of the first sociology courses I ever took, which is actually what led me to declare a sociology minor. It was environmental sociology. Changed my life, was something that I had never even heard about, like how sociology is the study of humans. What does that have to do with the environment? But definitely piqued my interest in sociology. And actually this semester, I was able to do an independent study with her, which is awesome because she is one of the most passionate and dedicated teachers I have ever experienced in my 21 years of being someone who's getting educated. And it's just so amazing to see a teacher like that who just loves what she does so much. And she's definitely willing to always go the extra mile, make sure her students are actually understanding what she's teaching them and not just getting enough knowledge to pass the tests and quizzes and things like that. So yes, I absolutely love her. Take sociology courses. They're life-changing in my biased opinion.
Awesome. You, Day?
For me, because I know everybody has like professors that will help them out with their majors or professors that will help them out with their with like tough times. For me, it was more like I can a connection. It was like I can if I can relate with them as a person, like if they was like my friend in a way. For me, it was I think it was Professor Keever. He's the math department head major the head of the math department. The reason for that, it was kind of strange because I didn't get him at first. To me he was like a very strange man, but then I get his pattern. Like if you get to know him, he actually keeps a good conversation. I didn't know math. I have math is the hardest thing I can ever do, and he was able to help me because I did quantitative math. I didn't know what that was. It's called real world math, he said. And then I kept going to his office hours. He helped me out. He made sure that if I didn't get any questions, no matter how many times I bothered him saying, "Oh, I didn't get this, I didn't get that," after we reviewed it like 1,000 times, he offered to help out. Sometimes we had bad days, so we just sat down, drank some coffee in his office, and just had a good chat. Um, he got personal with me, I got personal with him. So it was like for me, it was Professor Kiva because I could connect with him as a friend and as a professor.
Awesome. Chase?
Yeah, so my major advisor is my professor for field botany this semester, and then also is the um, representative for field botany or for botany club. So, and then also I've had other classes with him too. So I feel like he is just like a really good guy that I do a lot of stuff with. He definitely helps me decide all my classes and stuff that I should take. I'm always like sending him messages on Facebook Messenger if I have any questions about any classes or anything like that.
Right. And Daniela?
It's kind of a hard one, but my favorite professor would have to be Professor Karen Daig in the social work department. I absolutely love her. She makes a true connection with her students, and you can tell that she has a passion for teaching. She's not one of those teachers who's just going to sit in front of you and lecture you. She would always, I think Kristen had said it, like, come get coffee with me. My door's always open. And she actually, this is the first semester, but she left our department and went to another school, but she's still setting up like video chats with us. I'm not one of her advisees, but I talked to her yesterday. So, like, it's kind of cool to have that connection with one of your professors.
Awesome. So for our last question, just as long as nobody else has anything to say in the chat, why did you guys pick Plattsburgh? What was your big pull here? And why don't we do it backwards? So then we'll do Daniela, Chase, Yade, Marie, and then Kristen.
So I had a couple of reasons for choosing SUNY Plattsburgh. One of the main ones was size and location. So I come from a really small town, so when I went to visit like these huge schools, it was way too overwhelming. But then like the tiny schools, I kind of wanted to be able to branch out more than that would offer. So it's kind of middle ground. Also, we are able to have the sense of small town type community while also being able to have access to larger city events as well. So we're really close to Montreal and Vermont. So I like that aspect as
Yes, so I looked at a bunch of other colleges too and visited them, and I just didn't feel like it was the right fit at other colleges. And then when I came to Plattsburgh and visited, it was a very modern campus, and everyone here is very nice too. And then also I have Plattsburgh alumni in my family, so they pushed me to go here.
That's good.
Wait, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, it's like I think 3 to 4 reasons. The first one, I'm gonna start with I love the cold. I love the freezing weather. New York City weather is not the best. It's as in like it's not cold enough for me. I can't deal with 35-degree weather in winter. I wanted less. So when I came here, -10, it was like such a beautiful weather for me. I was enjoying. I was outside with my boots, and I was like, yes, please the cold. And the second one was the art department. The graphic design art department is one of the best art programs within all the SUNYs. Um, the third one, I believe, was modernization. The school is pretty modern, as in a way of technology and what's new here. So I'm able to go. I'm always able to feel like it's nothing is renovated. Nothing's like too old. Nothing's not like needs to get renovated compared to other schools I've been to. And then the last one, the last I forgot the last reason as I was thinking about it, but like I said, like this school, I feel more at home compared to other SUNY schools I've been in.
Awesome. Marie?
So, like I said, two of the things that I wanted to do when I came to college were graduate early and study abroad. Another thing is also get out of Connecticut, because Connecticut is a very small state and there's only a few schools that pretty much everybody from Connecticut goes to, and I just really wanted to branch out. So Plattsburgh was far enough away that I felt like I was leaving home, but close enough that it wasn't going to be a huge hassle getting here and I wasn't going to feel like super isolated. It's about a 4-hour drive from where I live to Plattsburgh, and like my sister lives in Albany, which is dead center in the middle. So every time I go to and from, I'm able to stop at her house, and that was one of the deciding factors for me. Actually, was that I was kind of leaving home, but I was also like kind of near people that I still knew, and then also just the flexibility that Plattsburgh was able to offer. There, I knew that I was gonna want to declare a minor eventually. I definitely wanted to get involved in a lot of organizations, and I liked what Plattsburgh had to offer there. And I honestly just liked the vibes. I toured campus in the pouring rain, and somehow I still was like, yep, this one feels good. This one feels like it's the right place. So yeah, it just made sense for me.
Awesome. And last but not least, Kristen?
All right, so this is one of my favorite questions too. So like I mentioned before, I'm from Long Island, and not going to say people are not nice there, just in case anyone's from there, not trying to offend you, but people are definitely a lot nicer up here in Plattsburgh. When I toured campus, everyone was holding the doors open for me, saying hello, even though I had no idea who they were, letting you pet their dogs, asking how you were doing. And I've become friends with most of the people that work in the dining locations and the janitors, and just everyone's super welcoming and inviting, and it really felt like home for me. That was something that was really big on my list. Was I was going to be, if I were to come here and be 6-7 hours away from home, I wanted to feel like this was like a place that I could see myself staying at. And now I love Plattsburgh so much, I don't want to leave after I graduate. I want to stay up here and live here maybe. And I just love everything about the surrounding area as well, because I love hiking and I love being adventurous. And pretty much every single weekend this entire semester, my friends and I have gone out to do some crazy adventurous things, whether it's hiking mountains, going to haunted corn mazes, done some super fun stuff. We're in a really great location, situated in the Adirondacks. And the last reason is the major that I'm in, because no other SUNY school had a 5-year master's program. There were some other schools that had good education programs, but what really set Plattsburgh apart was the feeling. So I would say no matter what state you're looking at, what school you might be interested in going to, you want to go to the school where you feel at home and you feel like you can be yourself, because wherever you are the most comfortable and willing to kind of step out of your shell, that's what college is about. And that's the place that you're really going to thrive. And I feel like Plattsburgh has done that for me. So hopefully you've gotten good information and Plattsburgh can do the same for you.
All right, well, thank you. We have a couple of more minutes, so just in case if anybody wants to put anything in that chat box, if there's anything else that myself or the fellow ambassadors have thought of, if you would like to share anything else. Not really. All right. So if everybody is good who is listening in, you are free to go to your next session then, and enjoy the rest of your open house.